Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
Hey everybody, thanks for downloading the show. If you're listening to this on the day it comes out, it's April Fool's Day, and I still feel bad that the podcast meetup didn't happen, so I'm going to do this week and next week shows to make it up to you by having some of the guests on that were also going to be at the event, guests that I wanted to have on the podcast version, and some of the comedians that I wanted to perform stand-up. They'll all be here. My first guest was going to perform stand-up at the meetup until things got screwed up. It's comedian and professor and Facebook user.
Facebook user. And guess which one I'm most proud of?
Which one?
Facebook user, baby. Facebook user.
It's Mike Canistero. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be back here in the creepy house. You have a wonderful house. I'm just saying that creepy stuff has happened here. It's just that's the only reason.
And we will get into that a little more here in a bit. Mike, I'm glad you're here, but I need to get something off my chest real quick.
Okay.
I hope you don't mind.
No.
But I just need a couple of minutes to talk about something. Mm-hmm. I was driving around Dayton over the weekend, and I saw a store that had a sign up that said school and office supply store. And I thought to myself, you know, this is why America is in the state that it's in. We commercialize everything. How the hell can these kids learn in school when they're in an office supply store? People are wandering around. They're buying Post-it notes. It was late. Nobody was there. So I drove up. I looked inside. I didn't see one damn desk, which means the kids must have to go to school in the back. So these poor kids have to walk through the store just to get to the classroom every day. And what do kids need for class? They need office supplies.
Exactly.
They need pencils. They need pens. They need paper. It's exploitive and it's wrong. Yeah. And I'm thinking about calling and giving them a piece of my mind. Mike, as a teacher, how do you feel about this?
You know what that feels like to me? That feels like Kings Island when you go on a roller coaster and they always take you through where you get your picture, you know, or they always, every single national park where you have to go through the gift shop to get in or out or whatever. Yeah, that's what that feels like. I think that was someone might tell you that was a big L accident and just it happened to be that the property was this or that. But I think that was on purpose.
I think so too. And it was in a strip mall.
Yeah.
So these stores aren't big. And I'm telling you, at least half of the school and supply store was the office supply store.
Yeah.
So these kids' classrooms have to be really small. And you know, there's got to be a restroom back there. On one hand, low class size is good.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if there's a lot of kids in the school, they're just crammed in there.
That's true. There's fire codes for this kind of stuff too. Well, never mind. You got to tell me later where this place is. I got to go cruise by there.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm going to do some investigating.
I wonder if we should maybe talk to somebody who does fire inspections to see if they're aware of how many kids are actually enrolled in the school.
I think so too. Yeah, maybe we should, blow the whistle on them, and then these kids will have no school. That's how we even the score. They'll all be homeschooled, and they'll think the earth is flat. Great job, Jason. That's exactly the angle we need to go. Let's pick on schools more.
Well, you know, that's funny that I brought up that you're actually a teacher, because I was at the school that you teach at, and I noticed they had a bookstore there.
Sure do.
I go in, it's all textbooks.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking for The Art of War. They don't have that on the shelf.
No.
It's just microeconomics, macroeconomics, English, all this bullshit. You can't find anything you're looking for. There wasn't one book that had
no magazines,
right.
Cartoons. Where's WordFind when you need it?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess you get on the phone. All my students are on their phones. The bookstores are changing now, and they're becoming less brick and mortar. But yeah, you find a lot of crap there, though. You can get yourself a sweatshirt. You can get yourself an iPod, earbuds for your Apple phone. You can find a lot of stuff that isn't educational there. You didn't look around good enough.
That could be it.
Yeah,
you're right.
No, there's plenty of crap in that store. As long as we don't say it's my employer by name. I can talk total shit about my employer as long as I don't say it by name. That's not sound legal advice. I'm just not sure. I just think it feels right to me.
Well, one of the things that longtime listeners really think about when they think of Mike Canistero is the balloon incident in the house.
Oh, dear God. Okay, yeah.
My wife gave me a happy birthday balloon to put in the room, which I think is kind of making both of us a little uncomfortable given the history.
Oh, I thought it was in the bedroom. It's right there. That's the balloon? Oh.
No, that's not the same balloon. We just bought it because I thought it would be funny.
That is, no, actually, I prefer that. I prefer being able to look at the balloon and watch it. So I know if I got to just jump right through that window. I mean, I don't know. I won't even open it. I'll just jump right through that. But, the other balloon was more able to move around and bounce our way. You know, It sounded like someone coming down the stairs too.
Well, there's a little weight at the bottom of it to keep it in one place. I thought about taking that off, taking it upstairs, putting it in the same room that it was in before.
Yeah.
And seeing if maybe it'll come back down here.
Well, here's the thing, Jason. I don't know if you should really test my desire to come back here like that. I enjoy coming out here. It's nice. Usually on Saturday, take that nice scenic drive. Don't make me not come here again. Just testing fate. Well, I want the cat to be around too, so I can look at his reactions. That's what I'm going to do. And he's out of here. That's not good.
That is true.
He took off. I'm scared. It's like my canary in a coal mine is what he would be.
Listeners probably aren't going to believe this because it's coming out on April Fool's Day. But something happened yesterday that really shook me.
Okay.
And it's a little bit of a long story. Hopefully everybody finds it interesting. If not, well, maybe just fast forward a little bit. I don't know what to tell you.
My butt cheeks have just tightened up already. I can't wait to hear this one.
My kid was in the restroom, and she comes out. She's all freaked out. She said the lights were flickering, and then they just went off. And not only did the lights go off, she was playing a game on her phone, and her phone just went black.
So the phone itself without not being plugged in or anything?
Right.
That's weird.
For whatever reason, in the last week or two, the lights have been flickering a lot around the house. I haven't thought much about it. I've actually gotten shocked turning the lamps on. And one of the light switches shocked me the other day. And I thought, well, maybe it's just static. I mean, the furnace is still running. So when she came out of the restroom, she told us that. And I thought, well, not to be dismissive, but she's 13. She could be embellishing some things. And the phone thing, maybe she just hit the side of it, whatever.
Yeah.
We have 2 different living rooms in the house. My wife was in one living room playing a video game. I'm in my living room watching TV. The room facing my living room and the room across from my living room both had the lights on. All of a sudden, the lights go off and come back on. And my kid's upstairs and she yells. I walk into my wife's living room. She is actually facing the other way. She had no idea anything happened. She's looking at me saying, "What?" And I didn't really know how to tell her because it was just kind of jarring. It wouldn't have been so much if my kid wouldn't have said something first and if it would have happened throughout the entire house.
Yeah.
But the fact it only happened in certain rooms was kind of weird. The thing is, upstairs, all of the lights are on a different circuit than the electrical outlets. That way, if you blow a fuse in an electrical outlet, the lights won't go off on you. So the fact that all of those went off at the same time, we're talking 5 different circuits.
Yeah.
That are on 5 different places on the circuit box. No one could come in and flip all of those on and off that quickly.
Sure.
Right?
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
So we're trying to figure it out. She was actually on a phone call with one of her friends while she's watching TV. The phone cut out again. So I'm downstairs and I'm watching TV. And all of a sudden, the light above my oven starts flickering. And I stand up and I go look at it, and it starts doing it more. So I tell my wife, I said, "Hey, come here." She comes in, it does absolutely nothing, right?
Yeah.
So we sit down, and I'm like, "Man, I need to call my dad. He helped me work on the house. He's an electrician. I'm going to ask him if there's any possible explanation. I've already looked at the fuse box. Everything looks perfectly fine. None of the fuses are tripped. I mean, they still be red. The power came back on."
Yeah.
So I'm telling him, "Hey, look, these are the rooms that happened in. This is the situation." I go to tell him about how weird it is that my kid's phone was cutting out at the same time. While I'm trying to tell him that, my phone ended the call.
What the hell? When did this happen?
Yesterday around 11 o'clock.
Shit.
So it's just
Couldn't it have been a month ago?
So I call him back.
The balloon. You just made me look at the balloon. It's not moving.
So I call him back. We're going over it, and there's just no rational explanation.
Mm-hmm.
And at 1 a.m., I end up calling one of my friends. You'll hear that interview next week. And while I'm talking to him, I'm telling him everything I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I get to the point where I'm telling him about telling my dad about the phone going out. My phone went out on the call.
Okay.
And it dropped it.
Interesting.
So every time I go to tell somebody about how the phone went out, the phone goes out. Yeah. Now, he might have just been messing around with me. He swears up and down he wasn't. I want to believe him.
That would have been a funny joke.
Yeah, I want to believe him. At the very least, it happened to one person. At the very most, it happened to 2 to 3 if you include my daughter's call.
Well, I'm surprised that you're still recording.
I need to check.
I know your screensaver just went off, but I think...
Wouldn't that be weird if there was some kind of electrical interference during that part of the recording?
Yeah. Yes, it would. And please don't tell me until I get the hell out of here. Yeah. I'm very skeptical, of a lot of things, but that sounds like too much of a coincidence. And, I don't know. It scares me.
Here's the thing that I didn't even think of. I haven't told my wife and kids because they're already freaked out enough and I don't want to have to sell my house and move.
Yeah.
But this house... It used to be a duplex. I never could wrap my head around how. And when I was working on it, I gutted it to the studs. You've seen it. So I actually seen where the second entrance was. And there used to be another room on the house. We tore that off years ago, and there's an addition built on the top of the house. So now that I've worked on it and seen the insides, I can make out where it was. The lights that turned off were all on one side of the house, where that one side of the duplex would have been. I never thought of that till I was talking to my friend last night and it hit me and I was like, holy shit. And I think that's where the lady lived that killed herself.
Oh God, no, I forget about that. I forgot that she killed herself.
I'm like you, man. I'm very, very skeptical of stuff, but when it happens in your own house and you have to go to bed at night.
No, yeah, see, that's why I'm so glad I don't have to sleep here. But then here's what I would look at. Like, okay, let's say ghosts can only do things like move a balloon around or make that little music machine go off, like you told me that one story. I don't know if that's enough to kill you. What, are they going to impale you with a balloon? I don't want to talk shit about ghosts while they're here, but I'm just saying that I don't think that they can really. In Blair Witch Project, somebody died, I think, or did they all die? I forget.
I've never seen that movie.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
I'm notorious for not watching movies, which is another part of this.
You shouldn't watch that one. It's scary.
Oh, this is the worst part. Within the last 2 or 3 months, I talked about how I had so many movies on my DVR. I have them from last July.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, I need to clear some space on my DVR. I started watching some horror movies that I recorded from last Halloween. It was Insidious 1 through 3 and The Conjuring 2, which is all about hauntings in a house.
Yeah, that's not a good idea, Jason.
Of all times to watch those movies. I never watch movies.
It's not good. No, that is not a good form of entertainment for you to indulge in. You have the real thing. Why would you even need to settle? You have a horror movie going on here every day. You know what? You could probably charge like admission for people to come in. You could probably get these people who really are obsessed with ghosts and just get them to come into your house, and you could be like some sort of side gig for you. I bet you there's some freaks who just they probably have black lipstick and nail polish. But I'm just saying that, you probably would get some of those people to come in here and I had to check out the balloon again. That's the 4th time I've looked at it.
And I did have paranormal investigators come here. I was going to do a special, I think it was going to be a Halloween of last year episode. Things went wrong. I wasn't able to put that out, but I'm almost glad I didn't now.
Oh, that's the air freshener.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear God.
I'm sorry.
In the bathroom, that thing scared the shit out of me last time too. Is that puffs out air? Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm real big on, I want my house to smell nice, and I have air fresheners around the house that just spray every, 20 or 30
Well, I was thinking
minutes
it's either that or the cat hissing, and I'm like, I am out of here. We'll have to finish this by phone call. Seriously, if something happens, could I call you on my phone on the drive home and just
Absolutely.
I'm out of here, man. Sorry, you were talking about the paranormal people, though, or something.
Yeah, they came in, they checked the place out. There was a couple of things here and there that was pretty interesting, but they said that they would like to come back and revisit the house and do it again, because it's one of those things where you're not going to get everything the first time.
Yeah.
And I think now might be a good time.
I know. Well, I'll tell you what, I will listen to that one intently, just out of self-interest, because I will have to decide, that this is where I want to come back again, and then, I already got the balloon thing under my belt. I don't know if they come in threes or what, but I don't know. That was scary.
It is bizarre that it happened the day before you were supposed to be here.
I know. And you know what I felt bad about is I just bolted on you too. I'm like, I'm like, hey, and I didn't even go out that side. I didn't go by the stair. I went right out that side door. I went out the total other side of the house.
Hey, now we got a door right in the room, so it's even more convenient.
More is better. More is more. In terms of exits, it's just great. And I know,
and a new window. So
I might
you have
climb
plenty
right out
of
that
options.
thing. Yeah, I totally out that thing. This ain't no Patrick Swayze. You know what I mean? He just, I forgot how he died. He got murdered, didn't he?
I didn't see that one
either.
See
Ghost?
No.
Now, actually, you should counter all this crap that you watched with watching Ghost, because it's a real heart-touching kind of thing, and I won't spoil it for you then.
I thought about doing something where I have a poll on Twitter asking people what I should watch, because there's a lot of movies like Ghost, Schindler's List, a lot of famous movies that are iconic. I have no clue. Scarface is one. I have no clue what I know the say hello to my best friend and he pulls out the gun or whatever.
I would recommend the Amityville Horror. Amityville Horror. That's a classic.
That was tied into The Conjuring too, so I don't.
Okay, fine.
That was interesting. And speaking of interesting, it was very interesting having you here today. I thank you for your time. Is there anything you want to promote before you go?
Well, I wanted to mention that I am shifted from doing science videos to doing dollar store food review videos.
Nice.
It's called Dose Dollar Store Dudes. We have a website, dosedollarstoredudes.com. I brought you some cookies.
Yeah.
Those are dollar store cookies that are mint cookies. Those are Girl Scout cookies.
Awesome.
So the Girl Scouts, we're trying to undercut them as much as possible by promoting that.
Okay.
And it's the same manufacturer and everything, but there's just things you can find. And there's a lot of crap food there too. And we try to make it funny. My partner, Travis Hatch, you can check us out at our website or check me out on my YouTube.
All right. And what was the website one more time?
DoseDollarStoreDudes.com. Just like it sounds. DOS, dose, like two.
All right.
So, yep.
Well, thanks again for being on the show. One of the other comedians that I wanted to have on to do the stand-up show at the meetup was Father Time. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to be on the show, but I was able to get the next best thing, Uncle Eon. He'll be on right after this quick break.
I remember back when I was still at school. These bullies always picked on me. They called me a fool. They knocked me on the ground. Oh! They rubbed dog poop in my ears. Yeah! They kicked me. Oh! They punched me. Oh! They said, "Come and fight, you wimp!" What'd you do? I faked I had an injury, then I ran away. I ran away, yes, I ran away. Danger stared me in the face and I ran away. Children always laughed at me after that day when I said I tore my ACL, then I ran away. I was playing one day in my backyard when I made the perfect snowball, rounded, smooth, and hard. I spotted nasty Ted Jablonski. Oh. I let fly the perfect snowball. Okay. It smashed the neighbor's windshield. Oh. He came out and said, "Who the hell did that?" What'd you do? I pointed at my sister and then I ran away. I ran away, yes, I ran away. Danger stared me in the face and I ran away. My sister was grounded for 3 years and a day, so I said she was adopted and then I ran away. I was walking with my girlfriend one night. Two guys were sitting on a bench. They pointed at her and said, "She's a fat, ugly tramp. Whoa. She smells like peanut butter. Hey. She's a loser. She's pedantic. She's a mediocre soccer player." My girlfriend said, "Make them stop." What'd you do? I dumped my girlfriend on the spot, then I ran away. I ran away, yes, I ran away. Danger stared me in the face and I ran away. The honor of my woman was on the line that day, so I told my girlfriend I was gay and I ran away. I was walking by myself last week when the devil himself appeared in front of me. He had fire all around him. He smelled like a burning tire dump. He opened his mouth, he pointed at me and he said, "Mike, you're next." What'd you do? I came up to the devil. I poked the devil on the shoulder. I said, "Look over there," and then I ran away. I ran away, yes, I ran away. Danger stared me in the face and I ran away. I'm hoping that the devil smokes 2 packs a day, 'cause my day of reckoning is here and I ran away. I ran away, yes, I ran away. Danger stared me in the face and I ran away. Whenever I was challenged, I collapsed like a souffle, but I'm still alive to sing this song 'cause I ran away. Oh, yes, I ran. Oh, yes, he ran. Oh, yes, I ran. Oh, yes, he ran. Oh, yes, I ran. Oh, yes, he ran. Oh, yes, I ran. I ran away.
My next guest hasn't been on the show in I don't know, eons.
I like what you did there. It's my job to be the funny man, mister. It's great to be back here and wherever this is. I don't know. I was dropped off, and it's fine. I think my new girlfriend will be over to get me. She's God, she's a luscious piece of quivering flesh. Oh my God, would you see her?
Well, that explains why you're so dressed up.
Oh yes. Oh no, I wear the fedora hat and yeah. You got to dress to impress. You see this gold chain right here?
Yeah.
That's mostly gold.
Isn't that an ostrich feather or is it a flamingo?
Yeah, no, I like I don't know the fowl, what kind of fowl it was plucked from, but it's done me well. It's gotten me here. I'm here. I'm here right now. It's flown me over to your wonderful studio, Jason. I'm glad to be here and with the cat and the Himalayan salt lamp. God bless you. I really can tell the difference in the air quality when you walk into this room with the Himalayan salt lamp. Cleanses. Yeah, the ionic charges. It just makes it fun to breathe. It
is very fun.
It's fun to breathe. If you around here, it's fun to breathe. You got this squirting every once in a while, and then you got the Himalayan salt lamp and this fresh country air with a spring breeze today. It's just wonderful. God damn it. How come people won't book me? You know?
I was going to ask how your comedy career is going.
You know what? Here's what you got to do. There's ebb and flow in comedy. There's times when you're so damn funny, no one will book you.
Wow.
And that's what I'm going through right now. That's what I want. And then you know what? If any other comics are listening to me right now and you don't want to book me, fine. I'll just go back into my little corner and write more funny shit until I get on after you and make you bomb. That's how good I'm gonna do. I'll make the people before me bomb. That's how damn good these new jokes are.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about them because when I do get on stage, I'm gonna light that whole thing on fire.
I know that you were trying to do cruise ships. Has that come through for you?
No, but same thing. You know, cruise ships are a big old floating clique on the ocean. Mm-hmm. Just like everything. Everybody's on cruise ships are just so, haughty-toddy of their Lido decks and their casinos and their flaming flambe banana shit and their formal nights and their life preservers, and their portal holes, and their slide pool thing, their lazy rivers, their legionnaires' diseases, their shit tanks, their captain wheels. I don't need them. Their comedy clubs, their glitter night dancing routine shows. I don't need it.
Have you heard the Titanic 2 is being made?
I hope so. I'll sink that too.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Could you bleep that out? I'm trying to do clean as green.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm trying to do more clean as green, man. And I'm trying to do more kid-friendly comedy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I like kids a lot. I'm going to try to have them again. When Gloria comes back, I'll show you. She'll come by. She's got some nice loins. She's had a hysterectomy. I think that might make it tough. But I doesn't stop a guy from trying. So 72 years old, I can still get a big firm one. Can? Yep. And not with any of these pill things either. And I'll tell you, you know what gets me a little bit in the amorous mood? Breathing nice, fresh, clean air. Like the Himalayan hot lamp.
I noticed that you had a pillow in your lap.
No,
that's why.
It's not a pillow.
Oh my God.
No. I would remove my hat and put it on just if it makes you uncomfortable. But he likes air too. He likes air. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I know it's kind of weird that I refer to him as a he, but it is kind of, so that's Steve is my name for it. I know it could be Peter or something like that, but I call him Steve. You know, I'd be like in the bathroom next to a guy at the urinal. I'd be like, oh, got to drain Steve. And they'll be like, who's Steve? I'm like, that's my penis.
Do you just point it at him and go, hello, my name's Steve?
No, I like to, comedy can't be too nail on the head, so to speak.
Yeah, you don't want a lot of toilet humor.
No, it's, I'm trying to clean up my act. And I just feel bad that I dropped an F-bomb earlier, but if it gets me booked, I'll try to wait until somebody at some comedy club dies so I get another chance. God.
I was going to ask what the game plan is for being a children's comic.
Well, it worked for Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah?
Yeah. Look at him. Look what happened with him. He got a big show. He did this awful, god-awful comedy where it was something about touching yourself. And then he went clean as green. Pee Wee's Playhouse with children.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go wrong with children. Lots of Michael Jackson. They joke about him, but part of what made him famous was children.
Are you concerned at all that you'll have to perform in front of children in like smoggy areas where the air isn't very clean?
Well, children, if they're not cleansed enough, will cloud up the air, and then I might get thrown off my game. But I was thinking possibly oxygen tank, It's tough though, because you got to intersperse the punchline with a psh. Yeah. I have an oxygen tank at home. I use it to freshen my lungs. And, it is a bit of a distraction. You got to time the punchline. Like I went to the bank the other day and then, psh, and I was standing on line at the bank and psh, you got to let the psh happen in between the setup and the punchline is the psh.
And when that happens, is that when you get your erection from the fresh air? Is the punchline? So that's when everybody knows to laugh. They say, he's hard. It's time to laugh.
Laughter, if you think, what is laughter? What do you do when you laugh? Do you breathe in or out?
You breathe out. Right?
Yeah. And that is the kind of thing that I thrive on. I know it's not clean air, but it feels like something that I feed off of.
Right.
Yes. I mean, it's like I feed off the ha 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 ha.
The energy
that's
in the air.
Right there. That's a little psst right there. That's kind of close to psst. Ha, psst, ha, psst. What are you looking at, cat? Go back about your business. Ha, psst, ha, psst. He likes me. Maybe he'll book me.
I think in his own kitty cat way, he's laughing. I think he's very much enjoying this. Maybe you should be a feline comic.
Well, that's kind of silly, isn't it? But if they don't pay,
you could perform in cat cafes all across Europe.
Yes. Well, they've got one here in town. We've got a cat cafe.
Well, there you go.
I would go to one of them.
Cat's Lounge? Is that what it's
Cat's
called?
Lounge? I've been to Cat's Lounge. Yeah, and I don't know what happened to the guy who booked that. Mike something. He just bailed on me. I want him to be my manager, but I guess he's too important now, and he just disappeared off the face of the earth. I never really felt good about the guy. Big, kind of lied to me a few times, 3-4 times. I'll give you 3 lies, and then you got a pattern of being a pathological liar. As
a person, I've only had good experiences, but as a manager, I've only heard very bad things.
Oh God! No, I mean, he couldn't get me booked at a cat cafe. I don't think. So,
no.
That's the thing. And if you do bad at a cat cafe, you might get some turds thrown at you. They are very, you've seen cat. Well, of course you've seen cat turds. Yeah. They're very compressed, very, very firm, kind of throwable size. That's the downside of bombing in a cat cafe, But he seems to be magnificent, and he's right next to right on cue. Thank you. What's his name?
His name is Mr. Kitty.
Well, that's... God, Jason, I call my penis Steve. I didn't want to be cliche. Mr. Kitty?
Yeah, I didn't want to get attached to him, and next thing you know, he's living in my house. I called him Mr. Kitty, so I wouldn't give him a name.
He's kind of used to it. But, boy, He's got beautiful eyes. How old of a man is he?
He's 4 years old.
4? That's the target age right there. In cat years, that's like 28.
Yeah.
And he's a millennial. He's a millennial. That's when he's got lots of disposable income. That's what I want to, the hell with these people on the cruise ships with their stationary bicycles and their weight rooms and their foldable towels on the bed and their turn down service and their chocolate mints on the pillow and their big, huge hulls. The hell with that. I want to go for millennials. You
see that box full of cat toys over there?
Yeah.
All that money could have been in your pocket,
Yes. No, that's nice. And I like your little step up open, garbage can there, that thing, it's stainless steel. That's quality.
Thank you.
Don't know why it's so damn small. That's very interesting.
It matches the one that's in the laundry room. They came as a set.
Oh, that's good. Yes. I mean, you wouldn't want them to be the same size. They compete against each other.
Maybe that's what I could do. I could put them next to each other in the laundry room, kind of like they have drinking fountains, one for adults and one for children.
Yeah,
that's the children's trash can.
Yeah, that's the children's trash can. Make them, and we got to bring these kids up now with, and God forbid that they get, I hope, there's Generation X. Mm-hmm. I'm Generation Q, okay? There's X, Y, Z, and now we're going back to A again, Generation A. I'm not sure if that's really what they call it, but I want to start that trend. And they haven't even been born yet. Now, when I get to the point where Generation A has some disposable income, that's where I want to really hit my peak. And I just hope that they all take care of themselves. Stay the hell off. Listen, kids, if you're listening, especially unborn, if you're listening, stay off these opiates and opioids. And the cat is doing something naughty, probably the Himalayan salt lamp. No opioids, opiates, opienes, Oprah. Stay off of Oprah. All those opes. We didn't even have opiates.
I'm sure she'd appreciate that.
We didn't. Well, she probably started it.
Well, maybe she would appreciate it if you did get on her, though. I don't know.
But she's got plenty of money. She probably started the whole damn Oprah crisis. It's a crisis.
It's been going on since the 80s.
It sure has. It's been going on since. Look. I think that the guys over there. What do you call them? They're way over halfway across the world. They used to smoke opium in their dens. Mm-hmm. And, that's probably where it started right there. But then then they became not opium. They became opiates, opioids, opites, opines, opus, opers, Opidication?
It's out of control.
It is out of control. It's opiculous. It's opiculous. It's terrible. Yeah.
I agree.
And we didn't have it when we were kids. All I did when I was a boy for a little bit of physical pleasure is just 9-volt battery on my tongue. Just right there. 9-volt battery. Just, at first it's a little stingy, and then you start liking it. You start to really like it.
Was that a gateway drug to larger size batteries?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's a
Were you ever sucking on D's?
No. See, D's you have to put in series. And I know this because back in the service, I was an electrician. But my wife and I, my girlfriend and I, Gloria, we're going to try to consummate a child anytime this week.
Wow.
She has a hysterectomy. She says that's a problem. Double hysterectomy.
What would you name your child?
Probably Steve.
And I think that's where we're going to end it. Okay. I want to thank you for being here
Thank
today.
you. And the Himalayan salt lamp, I know what to get you for Christmas now. It's not plugged in, but I still feel the ionic, radiant joy of it. Thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate you being here. I want to thank you for being on the show.
Sure.
It was a good time, as always.
Bitchin'.
And I am going to have somebody else who hasn't been on the podcast for a few months right after this. I'll be back with John the Songman.
Do you have a Dumbass of the Year nomination, idea for the show, or just want to say hi? Send an email to jason@wedon'thavecookies.com or call 929-266-9342 and leave a voicemail.
Hey, this is Kevin Allison of the Risk Podcast, and you're listening to We Don't Have Cookies.
Joining me now is a person who hasn't been featured on the show in a while, but is one of my favorites. It's the one and only John the Songman. How are you?
All doing great. Little fast from all year once again, like 17 and 18, but we still got it rolling, and including for Jason, always keeping track and keeping up for his songs on his show.
I was going to ask, what have you been up to?
Oh, it's just been a little family situation with my dad and everything, but hey, it's been a new year, still got some things going on, and as always, just like last year, still keeping up with my buddy Jason because he's always goddamn fun, and that's why his show is like number one.
Well, I appreciate that. That was a great rhyme. I was going to ask if you have a song for us today.
Oh, you bet your life. Well, actually, 18 kind of started ending a little lame because it didn't have any good songs for the most part. But hey, it's still keeping up as always. It takes a while. I would say because like I've said in the past, I've done the best. So what do I have to do next?
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. So what do I have to say? I'd say Jason is going to say, oh yeah, that's right. Who do you think you are, Jason? Who do I think I am? Why, I'm Jason. Oh, yes, it's true. And I'm a great radio host and do things much better than you. I'm a great radio host because that's my thing. Because I know how to entertain people whenever I hear the phone ring. I'm a great radio host. And if you ask me why, I'll explain it to you in front of your eye.
That's a great song, John. And I hope to have you on more, or at least play some of your songs a lot more often.
Oh, you bet your life. Still disappointed, like I said, but hey, it's just going to take a while. But hey, like I always say, what's next? What's better? Because the past has done the best. But I'll try the best as always, just to keep Jason in company to make the show rock with a song.
Well, I appreciate that very much. I want to thank you for being on the show today. I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be back.
Okay, that's no problem.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Fun Fact Factory. This week's topic comes from Jason's discussion with Larry from the Wood Enthusiasts last week. They spoke about Jason's pet black molly fish. The gestation period of a molly fish is around 60 days, and female mollies can store sperm for months, and may even fertilise eggs when there is no male present in the tank. So I guess the human version of a molly fish would be a porn star. They're usually full of spunk.
The segment that you just heard was from Chris Doyle. He'll be on the podcast next week for the first time as a guest. Frankie McDonald will be returning to give you the weather and much more, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Before I go, I want to run down some strange days for this week. If you're listening to this on the day it comes out, Monday, April 1st, in addition to being April Fool's Day, is also Fun at Work Day, so get to April Fooling around work. Wednesday is World Party Day. Thursday is Tell a Lie Day, so if you did something you regret on World Party Day, feel free to tell a lie about it on Thursday. Friday is Walk to Work Day and Read a Roadmap Day. Friday sounds like tons of fun. I had tons of fun making today's episode. I hope you had fun listening. If you did, please tell your friends about the show. I'd really appreciate it. That's it for this episode. I'll talk to you next Monday.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review. See you next time.
What, are they going to impale you with a balloon?